Naimbag nga aldaw! Today we are gonna be learning Region 1 or the Ilocos region featuring BIAG ni Lam Ang by Pedro Bocanig. But before we start this reporting, let me introduce you to my group mates, Romel Bacos Jr. and Jasmine Tumondog. This reporting will have three sections. First would be the region's profile, followed by the literary work featuring Biag ni Lam Ang, and last but not the least, features of Filipino-ness.
Let's have a glimpse of the history of Ilocos region. The region was first inhabited by the Aboriginal Negritos before they were pushed by successive waves of Austronesian immigrants. Spanish arrived in the 16th century and established Christian missions and governmental institutions to control the native population and convert them into Catholicism. The region was called by the Spaniards Ilocos, which meant from the lowlands. The inhabitants of the region called their place Samtui, from Saumitui, which literally means our language. Ilocos means people in the river, very much alike the Tagalog's Taga-Ilog, which referred to the early settlers living along the riverbank. And before the administration of Ferdinand Marcos, Pangasinan was not a part of the region. Ilocos Region is an administrative region of the Philippines, designated as Region 1, encompassing the northwestern coast of Luzon Island. The region is known for its historic sites, beaches, and well-preserved Spanish colonial city of Vigan. Dating from the 16th century, Vigan's Mestizo district is characterized by cobblestone streets and mansions with wrought iron balconies. The region is bordered by the Cordillera Administrative Region to the east, the Cagayan Valley to the northeast and southeast, and the Central Luzon to the south. To the west lies the South China Sea. The region is made out of four provinces, namely Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, La Union, and Pangasinan. From the topographical map, we can see that Pangasinan in the south has more lowlands as compared to the other Region 1 provinces to the north. La Union and Ilocos Sur are both relatively hilly and contain some mountains with high elevation, due them sharing boundaries with the Cordillera Administrative Region mountain range. Ilocos Norte, to the far up north, has relatively less mountains, yet terrain still shows some hills. The region has one independent city, which is the city of Dagupan, and eight component cities, namely Alaminos, Batak, Candon, Lawag, San Carlos, San Fernando, Urdaneta, and Vigan. It also has 116 municipalities with 3,265 barangays. The region has a total area of 13,055 square kilometer or 5,041 square miles. The total population of the region is 5,026,128 based on the 2015 census and 5,220,807 based on the estimated population that was conducted on 2020 with a density of 390 per square kilometer or 1,000 per square miles.
At this juncture, let's talk about the literary work Biag ni Lam Ang by Pedro Bocanig. BIAG ni Lam Ang, or The Life of Lam Ang, is an Ilocano epic poem believed to have originated in pre-colonial times. It tells the story of Lam Ang's life from avenging his father's murder, or his father's death. The summary of the poem goes like this. Namongan gives birth to Lam Ang, a baby of incredible strength and courage. The boy asks his mother about his father's whereabouts and learns that his father has gone to fight the Igorot. Lam Ang arms himself with charms and decides to look for his father. From a dream, he learns that his father, Don Juan Panganiban, had been killed by the Igorot. Later, Lam Ang finds the Igorot in a sagang, which is a feast celebrating a successful head-hunting expedition. His father's head is displayed in the feast. Lam Ang slayed all of them with his spears and mutilated the last among them. When Lam Ang returns home, 99 maidens wash his hair in the river. For his shampoo, he burns so much rice straw that the communities near the river are alarmed by the smoke. The dirt from his hair kills all of the fishes in the river. He then kills a crocodile and carries it on his shoulder ashore amidst the applause of his companions. Lam Ang hears a beautiful maiden named Ines Canoyan, the daughter of the richest man in the town of Kalanutian. He tells his mother of his desire to court the maiden. Although his mother discourages him, he goes anyway, dressed in gold and accompanied by his pet rooster and white dog. The giant Sumarang blocks his way and belittles him. Lam Ang defeats him in a duel and hurls him 9 hills away. Later, Sarindadan tries to seduce him, but Lam Ang rejects her advances. Reaching Kalanutian, he impresses Ines with his magic. His rooster crows and topples a small outhouse. His dog barks and the outhouse is rebuilt. Ines invites him to the house where the rooster acts as Lam Ang's spokesperson. Ines's parents ask for a bride price, which Lam Ang agrees to give. Lam Ang returns home to prepare for the wedding and the presents. He and his townfolk sails two golden ships to Kalanutian, where Lam Ang and Ines have a Catholic wedding. The townspeople board the 2 ships to Nalbuan, Lam Ang's birthplace, to continue the celebration. After the celebration, Lam Ang agrees to hunt a rarang, or a shellfish. He is swallowed by the giant fish Berkakang, as he has dreamt so. However, a diver recovers his bones. The pet rooster flaps its wings and resurrects Lam Ang. Lam Ang rewards the diver, and they lived happily ever after with his wife and pets.
The characters in the poem are Lam Ang, Don Juan, Namongan, Ines Canoyan, Sumarang, and Marcos. Lam Ang is the brave and fearless son of Don Juan and Namongan, who seek revenge after the death of his father by the hands of the Igorots. Don Juan was also a brave man and a father of Lam Ang, who died in the poem. While of course, Namongan was the wife of Don Juan and the loving mother of Lam Ang. Ines Canoyan was the beautiful wife of Lam Ang, and Sumarang was the giant enemy of Lam Ang, and lastly, Marcos was the diver who retrieves and recovers the bones of Lam Ang.
The BIAG ni Lam Ang poem was narrated by the third-person point of view.
Pedro Bocanig was known for his works and translation. Nothing was known about the exact birth and parents of Pedro Bocanig, but biographers assume that his birth took place sometimes in 1592. It was during that time also that an old woman found him inside a tampipi, a wooden basket or box floating along the sides at the bank of Banawang River between Bantay and Vigan, and turned him over to an Augustinian priest, which adopted him and educated him. It was surmised that his parents threw out Bocanig, who was born blind and ugly, in order to avoid curse of evils. He was born defective, but he turned out to be great. By the help of the Augustinian priest who adopted and nurtured and educated him, he learned from them Latin and Spanish language in addition to his native vernaculars. Because of this, he was a great help to the priest in converting the natives to Christianity. Many priests turned to him for translation of their sermons and prayers into Ilocano. His being blind did not hinder him from writing down his thoughts. The popular Ilocano epic, which we are featuring now, BIAG ni Lam Ang, attributed to him, was written down by an amanuensis as he dictated the lines of the story. It was also presumed that Bocanig wrote his poems, songs, or stations in that same manner. The literary devices that are found in BIAG ni Lam Ang are personification and imagery. Since this kind of poem is a fiction, these kinds of literary devices are mostly really present here. But in the case of BIAG ni Lam Ang, the imagery has this undeniable overflowing presence in the story. Some of its examples are the giant fish swallowed Lam Ang, the rooster flaps its wings and resurrects Lam Ang, the dog barks and Lam Ang roars. While personifications are also present in the story, and some of its traces are the rooster acts as Lam Ang's spokesperson, and the rooster warns him about him being swallowed by the fish. The theme of the story is the son's love for their father, or let me just say a family's love, that we'd be willing to do everything for them, to protect them at all costs. The Epic of BIAG ni Lam Ang portrays the quality and several characteristics of Filipinos. The fact that the traits, attitudes, and values being shown in this phenomenal epic are all reflection of our ancestors, especially the Ilocanos, who were the source of this fictitious peace during the pre-Spanish period. It depicts unwavering bravery, justice, love, romance, relationship, and even friendship. The vastness and heroism in the story are filled with idealistic imagination and fantasy. Lam Ang, the hero in the epic, son of Don Juan and Namongan in the place of Nalboan, was being feared and adored by the people because of his extraordinary powers. He has an unusual birth. He can talk just after his birth. Lam Ang's astounding growth was also fantastically amazing. When he was 9 months old, he already possessed maturity both physically and mentally. He also had a very loud voice that he can broadcast a declaration clearly to the town of Nalboan. He had an indescribable spirit that he conquered the numerous Igorots alone. Lam Ang's bravery was being shown to the town people of Kalanatuan and Kalanutian
and Nalbuan as he tries to get the shellfish. The fact that it was a difficult task because many have tried to attempt to get the precious shellfish but they failed to do. Aside from his extraordinary capabilities, he also had astonishing powers. When it comes to his love life, he tries to do everything for his love, Ines Kanoyan, to prove his worthiness of marrying her. Unfortunately, he was killed by a berkakan, or he was swallowed by a berkakan, a very big fish, but he was brought back to life through the help of his undeniable animal friends. First, the epic shows the importance of family. Lam Ang's love for his family was selfless as he searched for his father. The leadership skills were also manifested. He protected the townspeople of Nalboan for possible colonization of Igorots. The epic also emphasizes the rivalry between Lam Ang and other suitors. When Lam Ang fell in love with Ines, he fought and killed several monsters, eventually challenged Sumarang, who was a dedicated suitor of Ines. In this picture, it shows how Filipino fights for their love, doing everything just to prove how dedicated they are.
Good afternoon. My name is Jasmine P. Tumundog and I will be talking about the assessment of the Filipino features. In the sense of Filipinoness is found in the use of names, the element of superstition, and in the type of characters. Filipinoness may be defined as being patriotic, especially when we are proud of our own indigenous culture, our own products, and our own innovations. It is accepting the Filipino preferences or arbitrary and Filipino beauty. It is being true to oneself. Most customs and traditions of the Ilocanos are influenced by their frugality. From their cradle to the grave, Ilocano rituals reflect what they believe in. Here are some of the superstitious beliefs that can be found and observed in the epic of BIAG ni Lam Ang. Number 1. Dreams. When Lam Ang dreams of his father beheaded by the Igorots, then it was really the clue to finally found his father, even if he's dead. Some Philippine myth says dreams are realities in the real world. That dreams are warnings or hints of what will happen in the future. Number 2. Pregnancy. When Namungan ordered her husband Don Juan to prepare some bamboo shoot for her giving birth, a woman intense craving for sour fruits such as tamarind or green mango is an indication of pregnancy. The fruit that she eats provides clues to the appearance of the baby. The Epic of Biag ni Lam Ang portrays the qualities and several characteristics of Filipinas. The fact that the traits, attitudes, and values being shown in this phenomenal epic are all reflections of our ancestors, especially the Ilocanos, who were the source of this fictitious peace during pre-Spanish period. The epic shows the importance of family. Lam Ang's love for his family was selfless as he searched for his father. The leadership skills were also manifested. He protected the town people of Nalbuan for possible colonizations of Igorots. The epic also emphasizes the rivalry between Lam Ang and other suitors. When Lam Ang fell in love with Ines, he fought and killed several monsters and eventually challenged Sumarang, who was a dedicated suitor of Ines. It is just a picture how the Filipinos fight for their love, doing everything just to prove how dedicated we are. Lastly, the Biag ni Lam Ang depicts a very good portrayal of a true Iloco, all about and to all the Filipinos. BIAG ni Lam Ang is a remarkable epic because it tells a story about strength, won battles, and happily ever after. It is a story that not only entertains but also inspires the readers to fight their own battles, be strong, and always have a mindset to win. That's the moral lesson from the epic of BIAG ni Lam Ang.